a plague of darkness sweeps across the land, controlled by the tyrannical Dark Lord with the power to corrupt all but the most pure-hearted. The Dark Lord has overthrown the greatest kingdoms in the West. Now the Dark Lord's army is on the march, empowered by the sorcery of his undead bride. You have come of age in the Dark Lord's empire. Oracles warn that the siege of darkness is just the beginning of the prophesied end times. But legends also say, from the humblest beginnings, our hero will rise to save the world. So the time has come to go forth. Heed the call to adventure and claim your destiny. Confront the Dark Lord.
Behind every great hero is an epic origin story.
Good morning, my name is Harry Jacobs and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to North of 60 Gaming, brought to you by me and my partners over at Everything Board Games. So today we are going to talk about one of my favorite games. This is a new standalone adventure from Call to Adventure. It's called Epic Origins. I just got it in. It's by Chris and Johnny O'Neill. It's 1 to 4 players, 13 and up, and about 30 to 60 minutes. This is a rune chucking adventure character builder, a tableau game basically, where you build a tableau of traits for your adventurer, then go off and maybe get to slay a monster or two. I believe they had, made some expansions, and you're able to now, do some ultimate bad guys. Why not waste all that time building a character and then just sit there at the end going like, yeah, I got him. What am I going to do with him? Sort of the turn that Role Player eventually took, and then eventually led into some sort of adventure role-playing game, which is quite cool, really. So why not do the same thing for Call to Adventure? So we're going to take a look at it. Let's open up the box. We're going to box it, sleeve it, organize it, get it out and play it. Might play multi-hand just so I can have some fun with multiple characters. I think I've played... I have played it solo before. I think this is better with multiple people because it's a lot of fun with the runes, right? And there's a little take that in some of the cards that you have. So I think a good multiplayer this weekend. I think we'll pull this out. Tarmacan is coming up gaming night, and we usually play Saturday afternoons with our friends Matt and Desiree. I'm hoping to get a studio up in February so I can actually tape games family style, where we have 3 or 4 people sitting around a table and we can actually videotape that as we go. But that's future. Today's today. I have my little space. Let's go and open up the game. Well, I think we got the lighting right. In my small space, of course, it's a little bit on the difficult side to get the lighting 100% correctly. Over here, you can see the promo cards. Heed to call. It says, you may once for free, if you gain a trait or attempt a challenge, reveal this turn and gain a red crystal. Okay. So it looks like we have some interesting cards over here. This is the game box, as we see. I love the art. This is very D&D-ish. Just now you may wonder about that. That's to keep that slanted so we can keep some of the shininess on it. You can choose our path, cast the runes, and gather your party. 1 to 4 players, 18 ages, 13 and up, and 30 to 60 minutes. Let's take a look at what's in the box. It's no secret that there's the difference, right? You can see a little bit of shininess up there if I take that out. But for now, what we're going to do is remove the shrink wrap. If we remove the shrink wrap, that will pretty much go away, unless the box is really, really shiny. And I've seen that before in boxes where they do a finish on them. There we are, Epic Oranges. It's always exciting to take off the box. It's not vacuum sealed. That's kind of nice. Chapter. Now that's interesting. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have a campaign or a legacy game going on here. That's a different ball of wax. Now I knew there was a campaign, but wow. Okay, I didn't expect. Whoa! Nice. So there's the rules. It is really a straightforward game. So it is straightforward. It is easy to learn. Let's take a look at the font here. That's a nice font. Even though I don't like the brown on black, this washed out color gives it a washed out color. And I'm partially old, so that will help. I do have a mat somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find the mat. I know I have a mat. There's the setup. It's a easy setup. We have story cards, adversary cards, add a card to your story, and then the ability runes. You have all kinds of runes. There's a Stormbringer, which I think is that a Brandon Sanderson version of it? Yeah, the Stormlight. There it is. So there's the original, and then here's the Stormlight, which I think is Brandon Sanderson. Yep. It's 150 standalone expansion. You mix and match cards. You take some cards out and put some cards in. Here's some player boards. Yeah, I wish they were a little thicker though, but that's okay. In fact, to tell you the truth, it's better this way because up here in the Northwest Territory, they're a very dry territory, and these really tend to warp. We have some crystals. We got a score pad. We've got various cards, booby traps. We have our runes, and of course all our various cards. So we have a nice little tray, and it looks like, ooh, that might be a bit tight for sleeves, which would be unfortunate because it looks like you could just take this out and do that. So it's got its own stuff. Anything under here? You never know. Nope. So that's not bad. That's not bad. And we'll show you more of the artwork, so I wouldn't, fret the fact that I'm not pulling these out. If you want, we can pull one out. Let's pull one out. And there we are. And this is a Eldritch Knight. When you gain this, if you have played at least 2 of these runes, then you gain this. You may return something to your hand. Again, it's been a while. I don't think I've played this for about 2 years. There's a gladiator. So there we are. So these are pretty cool. I do love this game. I think it's the runes, and you can see that it looks like they've got a little bit mixed up here. It's the runes that make this game. It really is the runes that make this game. And that makes it a little bit different from other games. It's not about, they didn't put the runes on a dice. You actually take these runes, and if you look at the runes, then we can pull them out really quickly here. They're a little flimsy, but that's okay. You can see there's runes on both sides. So as you build your power, you'll be able to play and pick up different runes to toss around, and you get stronger that way. So the more cards that add runes, and then you can take advantage of basically action or spell cards, and then you can make yourself a stronger moves. So that's pretty much what this game was about in a nutshell. So that's just the box opening, and I'm gonna organize this. We're gonna come back and play it for sure. And there's the quick start guide right there. Interestingly enough, draft a trait, deal a pay 1 heritage to our original cards, origin cards, casting the runes, ending an act. So we have a game in acts. I am so curious about that. I am absolutely fascinated about playing an act as opposed to just a straight through game. That's one of the original game, one of the things like role player is, once you spend all that time building a character, what do you do with them? And now I know in this game they have the adversaries, which help you, allow you to sort of do something other than just, oh, I'm going to get a trait, now I can take an adversary out. So you get an idea of, okay, I'm a paladin and I can kill a leash or something along that lines. I don't know if there's leashes in here, but let's find out. I'll be back to you. Oh, I'm pointing. That is so rude. Never mind. Let's find out. We'll be right back. We'll go down to my table, do some organization. We'll talk to you about the sleeve sizes. I believe they look like standard Magic cards. They're 63.5 by 88.5 and 89. And they just look like the tarots. Usually they're, what, 70 or 80 by 120. I should have some sleeves hanging around the house. I did not buy the sleeves. I should have, but I got sleeves everywhere around here. So here we are. We're just getting ready to set up, and I've opened up the envelope for the Darkness Falls. That is the chapter 1, where we will be facing the Dark Lord. Here we are. We're going to face, after Act 2, we're going to be facing the Dark Lord Consort, and then we're going to be facing the Dark Lord himself. And this is his deck of nastiness, and we're going to place this card, which says, reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge, add a dark rune to the attempt. So we're going to put that in that. These are going to go into, this is the Dark Lord, and it's going to pair with the Reign of Adversary card. And we're going to just play it on the adventure quest, not on the advanced side. And it's going to do all kinds of nastiness to us as we play the game. Here we're going to have a Heritage card, and we're going to add another Heritage card. This is the Villager. Whenever you attempt a Strength or M, which is, you're going to have to excuse me on that, there it is, Charisma, you will gain a token, or experience, sorry, and this one is the Chosen. At the end of the game, 4 points. If you overcome the adversary, gain 4 points if you have at least 4 of 1 ability rune. 4 of 1 ability rune. 4 of 1 ability rune. You can't have 4 of 1 ability rune. I'll have to take a look at that, but this is the Chosen one, and we're really not paying for points. Really, in a solo mode, we are playing to beat the adversary. In a competitive mode, we would be playing in a co-op mode, which is kind of semi-co-op. That would make a difference. Today, it's not going to make a difference. So we're going to take our decks. Just give me a moment. So just as we're going along, here is my player board. And you can see I've taken the 3 basic runes, and they are 1 successes. And if you flip them over, you can see we have the card here. This is going to trigger various and different things. In this case, it's going to play a card from the adversary deck. At the same time, it is also going to trigger my class, or my origin. No, my class. No, it's an origins card. So we could be. So you can see here, it's gain a either a hero card or an anti-hero card, or discard any number of cards to gain that many experience. And we do start with experience. Here we are. We'll take our 2, I think it's 3. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to shuffle all of these up, and then we are going to give ourselves some cards to look at in a moment. So just give me a moment. So here we are. I have now just given myself out some cards. So I'm allowed to take 1 of the Heritage card, 2 of the class, 2 of the origin cards, 2 of the class cards, and 2 of the destiny cards. And of these, we can pick out 1. And hopefully they align somewhat to the Dark Lord here. So we're going to pull up. The first thing we're going to look at, we are a Hafling. So we're going to gain a dark card or a rune card, or re-roll every time, or re-roll every rune except for the rune that triggers this, of course. So we are Hafling. Now that's interesting. Now we're going to take our cards here, and we can take a look at our traits. Now we are going to try to match the traits that are here, and each one of us gives that. So let's just see. Each time you gain a moon or a star, gain a experience. Yeah. Or when you journey, you may replace a card on the table with any discarded trait or challenge from the same act. Don't like the idea of the ghost. I kind of like the idea of the artist. And the artist will give us 2 of these runes, and it's going to give us one of the runes that we actually need, and one that we really don't need. Now we have to be careful. You can see I just took the wrong rune. The one with the 3 dots comes in if I have all 3. So right now we only have 1. So we're going to put that back and take the regular one. And this says 2 successes versus 1 success. So if you roll the rune side, 2. Roll the slash side, 1. Okay, and we're going to be an artist. I like the idea of being an artist. There we are. Now we're going to come across here, and let's just see what we got here. We can be a bard. So the bard is a good one. +1 to attempt for a constitution, and +1 for dexterity. And that's what we need here, dexterity and constitution. But we have to put 4 experience on that. +1. So we could try to get 4 experience on that. I think we're going to be an artisan bard. And maybe that kind of fits the theme, doesn't it? That kind of fits the theme. And then we're going to turn over our last but not least. This has to do more with endgame scoring. So let's just see. Do we want to be a master assassin? At the end of the game, you get 1 dark path point for each. That doesn't really make sense. For each, what's that? Dexterity. And we don't really need dexterity. At the end of the game, you get 1 point for each magic, or intelligence, I guess that is. Yes, intelligence in your story. 3 if you played 3 light cards, 3 if you played 3 dark cards. Ooh. Again, it doesn't matter that much, so I want to be an immortal mine or a master assassin. Well, you know, I'm a bard artist. You know, there is some of that deception, right? Bards are notoriously deceptive, and they are artists, and they could be a master assassin. So I kind of like that setup, and so we're kind of ready to go for our first round. So we're going to make we're going to make room for the first cards, and and what we're going to do is shuffle these up. This is our first round, and the idea is we're going to pick up 3 cards, and let's just see what we're going to get here. So we have, let's see, so that's the master card, and we're going to go 1, which is a lawborn. 2 is a highborn. Assist the archmage, and train as an officer. Lots of magic cards, but nothing that's really particularly helpful. Oh, and I also get 1 hero card, and this says play as any hero attempts a dexterity challenge or a star path, add 2 to that account. There's nothing here I really want to do, you know, so I'm going to take it, and this is really going to hurt, but I'm going to journey. So I don't think there's anything in the adversary deck here. Okay, so I'm going to journey. Journey is I'm going to give away my experience, and we're going to get rid of one of these 2 cards. These are points cards. When you gain experience, then if you discard, you give 3. But let's get rid of this card here. We're just going to put that up here, and we're going to put a new one here. Oh, dexterity. Again, this is not helpful. None of these are helpful. None, one of them. We have time. I really don't want to waste time on this. When you gain experience, then if you discard a white card, give yourself 2 more. So I could get 3 experience, which would allow me to make up something here, really. Do I want to be a lowborn, or do I want to give up experience? Okay, I'm going to journey again. You can journey as many times as you want as you have cards. Okay, let's put the assist the archmage, and then this will be the last one. If we don't get something, fight off the goblin. Oh, here we are. Lead the town guard, and that would give us a gives me that charisma. So I think we're going to go for this. So we're going to need 3. We have 1. So we have a guaranteed at least 1, and then we're not sure. I could go for a dark rune at this point, because I'm going to need 4. And this only guarantees me 1. So my last experience, I'm going to play that, and I'm going to take a dark rune. Now, the dark rune is either 1 success or 2 successes. The problem is if I get this is going to move down. And if it moves down, I don't know, when a player fails a challenge. Oh yeah, when a player gains it, he's going to get +1. Oh, and he starts with 5. I forgot about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that adds to his hit points, so he's 11 strength right now. But we'll take that chance. What we're going to do is we're going to roll our runes. Roll our runes. And we'll get a little bouncy castle here. And you can see I failed. 1, 2, and 3. So I did not, because I was going for this one, +1. I needed 4. If I fail a non-adversarial challenge, I'm going to have to add another diamond. Now the good news is I also get 1 as well. But I failed. So this is not a good, that was not a good challenge for us. Wow. The runes were evil. And that one can just go back for now. And we failed to fight off the goblins. The adversary is now stronger. And now we're going to be intimidating. Now this is a trade card. So I don't have to do anything except take it. Thank goodness. And it gives us the constitution we need. When you gain this, if you have at least 1 strength, which I don't have. That is unfortunate. But I think we'll take it for the rune. There we go. And we will get that rune added to our pile. So now we have our 3 normal. And we have at least 2 of the runes that we need here. Now we're going to add this. We've been lucky so far. Question of faith. Again, this is not useful. This allows for a dexterity challenge. Defeat the monks. I could go for this. But I wonder if it makes more sense to take a this card and then ditch this card to get 3 experience. Then I could put 2 of them on here. There's some tough choices here, folks. Well, you know, let's go with the humble beginnings of our lowborn, and unfortunately he's not going to give us anything, except what we're going to do is I'm going to discard this card and I'm going to take myself 3 experience. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to take, probably eventually, we're going to take them and move them to here, but let's just see what we get. Now, we only get 3 cards. I just noticed I really can't show you the cards because I'm... So this is the cards come in again. They're just magic or... we'd have to go for rig the game, which makes sense. We're going to need 4. We have an M. Or we have a magic. So we have 1, 2 guaranteed, and we'd have to pretty much not do what we did before. Whew. And we'll get a dark card as well. So you can see right here, this is what we need. So we'd get a dark card and a rune. We need that rune. But we have only 2 guaranteed successes. But we need that. Oh well, maybe what we'll do is spend an experience to get a dark rune again. Now, it wasn't particularly useful before. We're going to take our runes. We'll just move that up. See if we can rig the game. As a bard, I could believe I could do that. Let's see what we have here. We do have it. Let's just see what we have here. We have 1, 2, 3. We have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, we're showing the moon. That's going to go down. And I have to put another one here. This is not boding well for us. But we do get the card. And we're still in this late dark phase. But I do get a dark card. So we'll see what that brings us. Choose a hero attempting a challenge. They gain +1 attempt a dark path or +2 attempt on a theater pass. By that's what it looks like, theater. Okay, so we did okay. We did lose a moon. We're not doing as good as we could, but we've rigged the game. So this will go underneath. That is our 3rd card. We are done Act 1, actually. And we get another one of the Constitutions. That's 2 out of the 3 that we can have. Yep, there we are. So we've got some to play with at the moment. Whee! That is the end of the Act 1 cards. We don't have to face the adversary yet, but we really have to start thinking about how we can get negative. We have to get this up. So hopefully we'll find some cards that will help us do that. Okay, let's put that up here. We will take our Act 2 cards. These will be stronger and more powerful. And we'll put 4 out. 1. No, not helpful. Not helpful. Again, not helpful. Not helpful. Maybe on the dark side. Let's see what we got here. We have a researcher. When you gain this, gain experience if you've added a dexterity or a last turn, which we didn't. When you gain this, if you added a that or that, no. You gain this for each. You can take 2 off the adversary. When you gain this, gain 1 for each castle. We don't have any in your story, or take 2 from the adversary. That might be a good one to do. Or we could try to do this one, 5. We're going to need 6 to make an alliance. Whew. But we have magic, so we have 1, 2, 3 guaranteed, but we'll need 6. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It's a tough choice. I don't know if I want to add a dark rune. Oh, but we have that face. What does that say? Didn't I have something that said plus 2 attempt on a path? Oh, so we're going to attempt this challenge because I can get +2 on this. Perfect. I am not going to add a anything to it. I'm just going to toss my runes. I do need 6, but I have +2 automatically. As you can see here, more than enough. Perfect to win this for the dark path, make an alliance. That's good. That gives me the 3rd and final rune for the Constitution. That's good. Okay. Of course, this card has to go now, leaving me 0 cards. Okay, what do we got here? Disable the trap, or this is not useful at all. I think what I'm going to do is take Filthy Rich. That's going to go up, but it will allow me to take 2 off the adversary. So we're still going to have to beat a 10 here. Whew. We've been lucky though. The adversary hasn't really hurt us much. Okay, we have 1 more card here. Okay. This doesn't work really. I don't really care about this one either. We could get this Gladiator. When you gain this, gain for each strength or V. We don't have any. We've got none of those either. That's not helpful. Strength is not helpful. I really don't want to have to journey again. I am going to journey. I really hate journeying. I need to gain some light, which I haven't either. Isn't that wonderful? So what do we want to take away? We'll take away this one. And maybe we'll have something that's a little bit more conducive. Do we? Yes, we do. This one here. We only have to do 4, and we need this. So we're going to go with this one. We don't have any dexterity, and we only have the 1 V, don't we? No, we don't have any Vs. Whew. That is not helpful at all. Oh, yes, we do. We have 1, 2, 3. So we need a 4. I'm guaranteed at least 1. I need 4 here to help with that. It's tough, man. When your path is not seen. So far we're a Filthy Rich. We've poisoned my rival, or I made an alliance in this case. We're Filthy Rich too. Ooh, and we made alliances. But that's just well, I could pay to have the dark. I'm going to just take a chance. I'm going to take a chance. I need 4. Yeah, we did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we did get it. But we also trigger this. So we can gain a light card, which is good. We're going to pull that card in a second. We did win our lose a loved one, which does give me the 1 more rune, which is good. However, we're going to turn this card over, and it says, reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. It has +2 unless any hero discards a light or dark card. Now, in theory, the hero goes before there, so I'm suggesting that that's fine. We're going to lose that card, unfortunately. But we did get that. That's fine. Now, in the rules, I read that the hero comes before the adversary, so we would have taken our card before he drew his card. Therefore, we would have had a card to get rid of. That's my interpretation. Next up, so we have all 3 cards here actually. Now we have to face the adversary. This is not ideal for us because we have our 3. No, maybe. And I'm going to have to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jesus. Jesus. So we have 1, 2, 3 guaranteed, 4 guaranteed. 4 guaranteed. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if the runes roll. Oh, and I have this extra one. So we have at least 5 guaranteed and 3. We can put 2 onto here. We lose them forever. That's going to give us +1. We don't have a card that's going to help us. So we're either going to have to roll a 10, which I think is doable. Should we roll the adversary? Okay, let's roll the adversary. This would come out, but we don't need that. So we're going to roll. We have no money to roll the to buy one. So we have the +1 here. So let's just take a look. Oh, I think we did something good here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus this is 11. So we did it. We have 11. And however, we have this nastiness here. I can gain a card. So let's take a dark card. No, let's take a light card. Let's pull this card up. And what does it say? It says, Cursed Treasure. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. They may gain a moon to draw a light or dark card. Oh, well, that only leaves us with those cards. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. Oh, I could keep. Then they may gain moon to draw a that. Reveal this as attempts a challenge. Well, so I'm going to say that I'm not going to take a moon to draw a card, because if I take a moon, that's going to give him an extra one of those. So that doesn't make sense to me. So we have actually defeated our Dark Lord, and now becomes a little bit more. We'll put the 5 back on here. Yes, you have to put the 5 back on there. Now it's when we're going to gain every time we get a moon, so we don't want a moon. If we get a diamond, you must gain a moon or get -1 to your attempt, and you can lose one of these if we get light, and we have not seen any light at all. So at this point in time, what we're really going to be looking for is that last rune. There it is, right there, like that. So this so far is not useful to us. We got the 3 constitutions. We have 2 of these and the 3 of these. So far so good. But we're going to have to beat a 13. So maybe if we can get some light, we should be good. Now we'll take away our 2s. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Put them off to the side. We'll take our 3s. Uh-oh. We have something in here that doesn't belong. Oh, no, it belongs in there. Just give that a shuffle. And we'll go 1. Oh, right there. A necromancer. Summon a demon. Shadow dancer. Well, that's a trait. And free the enslaved. That doesn't really help us that much. Though I like taking the necromancer. What does that say? Summon a demon. This is the one that, this is what we want, is the necromancer. When you gain this, choose a black card that another hero has played or put it into your hand. Well, I don't believe I think we actually got rid of this, didn't we not? No, we actually played that. So another hero though, another hero. Well, it can't be me. So we'll take the necromancer. This is a trait. So somehow the bard became a necromancer. But it does give us that 3rd and final, as well as a magic. Now what we need is a nice card with that will give me some sunshine and lollipops. Kind of like prevent calamity here, or close the portal. We have a magic and V, which doesn't help us. We have V there. We have a shadow dancer. We could be a shadow dancer. When you gain this, if you have at least 3 in your story gained. Do we have 3 dark? We have 1 dark. We have 2 darks. Yeah, we do have 3 darks. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be a necromancer shadow dancer. And gain 2 more experience. You can see how fast this game goes. So there we are. So definitely our bard artist is turning to the dark side. Kind of eerie, really. So that's the second card, and there's another card. This isn't helpful, but except gives us some experience. Three different story icons. We have 1 story icon, 2 story icons. We have 3 different story icons. Not helpful. Not really helpful. But it's the path of the least resistance. We could try to get a card, but we would need 6, and we only have 1 magic and none of those, so that doesn't make any sense. Okay, I think it makes sense for us to be a lore master. So we can't take advantage of getting another one of these, but we do get a dexterity, which really basically means nothing at this point. So these 2 are actually not even going to be helpful to us. We have this card here. Word of Honor. Choose a hero attempting a challenge. They may gain +1 to attempt a light path, or +2 to attempt that. So what is that? Dark Lord. It looks like it's a light path right there. So we could get a +1. Okay. We weren't able to get rid of any of those. So that is it. So we're going to take our 3s away. And then we're going to bring these down. And we're going to roll. And we need a 13. So we have our 1, 2, 3. We're going to get a +2 because this is a cumulative. So we have at least +2. Plus our 6 runes, this gives us 8. Minimally, we're going to have 8. But we're going to need a 13 here. Okay, so let us bounce the runes. I like that. Bounce the runes. So this is a dark card. So we have a 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and if I wanted to play this card, I certainly could get another 2 because this is a late card. So we have beat the adversary, the final adversary. And that is it. Game doesn't take a long time. I love the game. We're going to have some final thoughts on this, but you know what? What's kind of fun is let's take these off for a moment and kind of just go through our history of our Hafling. I think part of the fun of this game, of course, is to, if I can pull these off, is to really take a look at the history of our character as we build it. Now, there is a way in the rules that you can actually convert this character into a D&D 5th edition character, which is kind of cool, really, when you think about it. So we have, we'll just put that over here, we have a Hafling. But he has humble origins. He's an artist. He was low born. he was able to solve riddles and intimidating. So he's a riddle kind of a jokester, but he's very intimidating because he's smart and he's able to solve riddles where other people can't, and so therefore his intelligence kind of intimidates them. Of course, on his off hours, he bards, but he's able to make alliances. He's gained money, which is kind of nice. So all his artistry finally sold, but alas, he lost a loved one along the way, probably in respect to moving on to his dark arts, which probably changed him into that necromancer. When you lose somebody, you know, you want to raise them up, and becomes a little bit into the shadows, which, you know, as a master assassin, he would like to do that. And then, of course, a lore master. Well, you can't really be a necromancer without knowing lore, especially for undead. So we have a mixed bag of our bard here. He starts out kind of lowborn and humble, and then as he moves through his story, he loses a loved one and turns to the dark arts and becomes a master assassin, and really becomes a little bit more onto the dark side. Okay, I did that because that's Darth Vader. But that is our story of our bard. So you can see we build a little bit of a history. So this is all about history, of building a character and his backstory. That's kind of cool, I think. Let's talk about final thoughts. So, final thoughts of Epic Adventures, Call of Adventure. I did like the first game. It was competitive. There have been some minor changes to give this a bit of a solo co-op flavor. Much more soloable now than the original one. I think that's a good thing for me. So we can mix and match from the other sets too as well if we want to. So eventually we might want to do this. We only played through the first campaign, and as you open them, you just add the cards. And you can keep the cards. It's in there. So they just add to the deck and add to the deck. They could keep this game going forever that way, but, you know, come out with some new feats and some other cards. We didn't see everything. So certainly we could play this again and hope to see more as a different character. As you can see, it wasn't that hard a game. So let's just take a quick look at this in terms of, let's just start with the theme. I love theme. It's a fantasy theme. We build out our character. It's wonderful. I enjoy it. You can see I was at the hospital the other day. They were going to give me a cardio inversion. Unfortunately, there was some happenstance that prevented that. We'll be back at it in a couple of weeks, but I'm fine. It's just a little arrhythmia. So, but don't let that stop me. The theme is good. Building a character, that's the fun part. It's not role player where you're building your stats like we do in D&D. This one is building your backstory. So, you know, we've got this halfling that became a necromancer, a halfling bard necromancer. Try to figure that one out in the lore of 5e, guys. I don't know if you can even have a halfling bard necromancer, but here we can. The rules are pretty well laid out. I did have a little bit of trouble with the rules, so I did watch a couple videos. There was one in particular that cleared it up and enjoyed it. Now, I don't pretend that I didn't make mistakes here. I might have. I don't think so. It's a really hard game to make mistakes at. So the only problem I think I had here was interpreting perhaps these evil cards here, especially that one with the challenge, right? Where was it? In here somewhere. Look at that gelatinous cube. Dark Lord's Call. Yeah, the cursed. I think it was the cursed treasure. Reveal this as a hero attempts a challenge. Well, at that point, I was already attempting a challenge, so which was the adversary. So it really didn't do me any good one way or the other. But the game is easy to set up. Once you get into it, I remembered some of the rules. It became very, very quick. Each round, feed cards. So as a solo game, this is a 20-minute solo game, maybe 30 minutes tops. It probably might get harder. I could probably keep track of my scores and see how well I do and play it maybe a couple times and see, you know, say, how does that score sort of ramp up? When you're playing multiple people, once the Dark Lord is dead, everybody does up their scores, right? So, you know, there's a 7 just to kill the Dark Lord. And then the person with the most in the co-op version still wins, but everybody wins. So I don't know how that works. we have one hero that's a little bit more heroish, perhaps. You know, he brought it around. You know, he killed the monster, and so he's a little bit more bragging rights. Let's just say that he gets the bragging rights of killing the Dark Lord, but you all win or all lose. So yeah, kind of funky rule that way. The rules, as I said, man, they were okay, but I think the videos really helped me. Ease of mechanics. It was easy to play, as you can see. To pick a card, do a rune challenge, and throw them up in the air, and they clink really nicely. A little different than dice. I think that's kind of nice. Just gives a little bit of a little bit more medieval flavor, perhaps, with throwing runes around as opposed to throwing dice around. So I enjoyed that. So the mechanics are good. It's easy. Take a card, journey, throw some runes. You know, that's pretty much the turn there. Replayability, there's tons in this game. So in terms of replayability, Epic Origins is just a standalone version. There's a main game with 2 expansions, Stormlight and another Call to something or other, Call to Adventure, and then there's another one which I fail to remember every time. So, but there is two expansions, not 3. Two expansions. So there are 2 expansions to the main game. I don't know what else they're going to do with this. I'd love to see more adventuring. You know, like role player, maybe a little bit more adventuring aspects of it, which they did with the Dark Lord, but maybe a little bit more expanded. Definitely, this game is a light game. It's fun to play. The runes are really good. In the original game, there's a little bit of take that with some of these cards where you can play it on the hero and say, you're going to have to take +1 to get something. So somebody can stop you from winning your challenges and things like that. So there's a little bit of take that in the original game. I don't think there's as much in this game, but I'm not sure because I'm not playing multiplayer. I'm taking it this morning. We are going over to Coyotes later on with this game and Raiders of the North Sea, because I promised my wife with Raiders of the North Sea, as I promised my wife we would play that. But that is it. That is Epic Origins, at least my take on it. My name is Harry Jacobs. I am the North of 60 Gamer. This is the North of 60 Gaming channel. This will also go up on Everything Board Games as well. That is a partner channel for me, and so a lot of my work goes in both places, at least games-wise. Other things I keep on my channel. Some things I put on their channel, but for the most part, I share everything. They've been very good to me over the last couple of years, getting me games, and I'd like to continue on that relationship. Keeping in mind that in February, we will have a store to play in, tabletop games and collectibles, and we're going to have Magic and Pokemon, Digimon board games, WPN licensed. We're going to have the Arena computer set up there, so there's going to be lots of excitement there. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button, smash it good. Hit the swirly subscribe on the way out. Whee! That's what happens when you don't have coffee yet. And we'll catch you next time. We will be looking at Scale Up the next time, and I've got this new game that came in that's supposed to be really good. And I would mangle the game title if I had it in front of me. So I'm going to wish you a great weekend and a great week. Ooh, I am yawning like crazy, but it is like really early. It's just after 7, and I've been doing this since 6. So, and the dogs have been buggers since about 5:30. Again, hit that swirly subscribe on the way out, and enjoy your day, and enjoy this upcoming week as we march closer to the weekend. Sorry. As we march closer to Christmas. By the way, I think this game would make a great Christmas gift. It's not a stocking stuffer, but it is a nice little game, very compact. As you can see, my spot where I play is not very big. Anyway, that's it, folks. Later.